Talk number 26, Talks with Sri Ramana Maharshi. Devotee, how can we discover the nature of the mind, that is its ultimate cause, or the noumenon of which it is a manifestation? Maharshi, arranging thoughts in the order of value, the I thought is the all-important thought. Personality idea or thought is also the root or the stem of all other thoughts, since each idea or thought arises only as someone's thought and is not known to exist independently of the ego. The ego therefore exhibits thought activity. The second and the third persons do not appear except to the first person. Therefore, they arise only after the first person appears. So all the three persons seem to arise and sing together. Trace then the ultimate cause of I or the personality. The I idea arises to an embodied ego and should be related to a body or organism. Has it a location in the body or a special relation to any particular spot, as speech which has its center in the brain? Similarly, has I got any center in the brain, blood or viscera? Thought life is seen to center round the brain and spinal cord, which in turn are fed by the blood circulating in them, carrying food and air duly mixed up, which are transformed into nerve matter. Thus, vegetative life, including circulation, respiration, elimination, etc., or vital force, is said to be or residing in the core or essence of the organism. Thus, the mind may be regarded as the manifestation of vital force, which again may be conceived as residing in the heart. Thus, the mind may be regarded as the manifestation of vital force, which again may be conceived as residing in the heart. Devotee, now for the art of eliminating the mind and developing intuition in its stead, are there two distinct stages which are possible: neutral ground, which is neither mind nor intuition, or does the absence of mental activity necessarily involve self-realization? Maharshi, to the abhyasi or practitioner, there are two distinctive stages. There is a neutral ground of sleep, coma, faint, insanity, etc., in which the mental operations either do not exist or consciousness of self does not prevail. Devotee, taking the first part first, how is the mind to be eliminated or relative consciousness transcended? The relative consciousness here means the worldly awareness. Maharshi, the mind by its nature is restless. Begin liberating it from its restlessness, give it peace, make it free from distractions, train it to look inward, make this a habit. This is done by ignoring the external world and removing the obstacles to obtain peace of mind. Devotee, how is restlessness removed from the mind? Maharshi, external contacts, that is, contacts with objects other than itself, make the mind restless. Loss of interest in non-self, that is vairagya, is the first step. Then the habits of introspection and concentration follow. They are characterized by control of external senses, internal faculties, etc., sama, dhamma, etc., ending in samadhi, which is the undistracted mind. Talk number 27. How are they practiced? Maharshi, An examination of the ephemeral nature of the external phenomena leads to vairagya. Hence, inquiry or vichara is the first and foremost step to be taken. When vichara continues automatically, it results in a contempt of wealth, fame, pleasure, etc. The I thought becomes clearer for introspection. The source of I is the heart, which is the final goal. If, however, the aspirant is not temperamentally suited to vichara marga, that is, to the introspective analytical method, he must develop bhakti or devotion to an ideal, which may be a god, a guru, humanity in general, ethical laws, or even the idea of beauty. When one of these take possession of the individual, other attachments grow weaker. That is, dispassion or vairagya slowly develops. Attachment for the ideal simultaneously grows and finally holds the field. Thus, ekagrata or concentration grows simultaneously and imperceptibly with or without visions and direct aids. In the absence of inquiry and devotion, the natural sedative pranayama or breath regulation may be tried. This is known as yoga marga. If life is imperiled, that is, threatened or put in danger, the whole interest centers around one point, which is saving the life. If the breath is held, the mind cannot afford to and does not jump at its pets, which are external objects. Thus, there is rest for the mind so long as the breath is held. All attention being turned on breath and its regulation, other interests are lost. Again, passions are attended with irregular breathing, whereas calm and happiness are attended with slow and regular breathing. Paroxysms of joy is in fact as painful as the pain itself, and both are accompanied by ruffled breaths. Real peace is happiness. Pleasures do not form happiness. The mind improves by practice and becomes finer, just as the razor's edge is sharpened by stropping. The mind is then better able to tackle internal or external problems. If an aspirant be unsuited temperamentally for the first two methods and circumstantially on account of age for the third method, he must try the karma marga or doing good deeds, for example, social service. His nobler instincts become more evident and he derives impersonal pleasure. His smaller self is less assertive and has a chance of expanding its good side. The man becomes duly equipped for one of the three aforementioned paths. His intuition may also develop directly by this single method. Devotee, can a line of thought or a series of questions induce self-hypnotism? Should it not be reduced to a single pointed analyzing the unanalyzable, elementary and vaguely perceived and elusive I? Maharshi, yes. It is really like gazing into vacancy or a dazzling crystal or light. Devotee, can the mind be fixed to that point? How? Maharshi, if the mind is distracted, ask the question properly. To whom do these distracting thoughts arise? To whom do these distracting thoughts arise? That takes you back to the I promptly. Devotee, how long can the mind stay or be kept in the heart? Maharshi, the period extends by practice. Devotee, what happens at the end of the period? Maharshi, the mind returns to the present normal state. Unity in the heart is replaced by variety of phenomena perceived. This is called the outgoing mind. The outgoing mind is called the resting mind. Devotee, Is all this process merely intellectual, or does it exhibit feeling predominantly? Maharshi, the latter. Devotee, how does all thought cease when the mind is in the heart? Maharshi, by the force of will, with strong faith in the truth of the Master's teaching to that effect. Devotee, what is the good of this process? Maharshi, conquest of the will, that is, development of concentration. Next, conquest of passion, that is, development of dispassion. Next, increased practice of virtue, that is, equality to all. Devotee, why should one adopt this self-hypnotism by thinking on the unthinkable point? Why not adapt other methods like gazing into light, holding the breath, hearing the music, hearing internal sounds, repetition of sacred syllables, pranava or other mantras? Maharshi, light gazing stupefies the mind and produces catalepsy of the will for the time being, yet secures no permanent benefit. Breath control benumbs the will for the time being only. Sound hearing produces similar results unless the mantra is sacred and secures the help of a higher power to purify and raise the thoughts. End of talk 27.